All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to learn how to master the LifeWave compensation plan. Get your notepads ready and welcome to the This Is It stage, 3-star presidential, Steve Merritt! Yeah, come on. Hello, everybody. Wow. Okay, grab a seat. Let's go. Hello, everybody on the virtual. How you doing? All right, are you ready? Guys, I'm gonna include all you virtual friends on here because I want you to be making sure you're getting it. So every time you see something and I'm explaining it, I want you to be saying, got it. So now, real quick, because we've got myself, then we got Meredith Burkich coming up. Can we get everyone that's got anything on seats open up? Because we have plenty of seats. And the poor folks got to be standing back there. Can you just please raise your hand, welcome the person? Come on, This Is It team, all right? I love Danny McDaniel at our last convention, came out. His first thing, he was so mad because he had just went to the bathroom. I just went and I didn't see any, Danny. So this is pretty interesting. He said, someone spit gum in the urinal. And he said, and we're the only people at this hotel, so it was one of you. That's not what This Is It team is all about. We want to make sure that we're the funnest, most respectful, most humble people, but we go to any event, anywhere, and they love us, all right? Because we're all a team. So help your team members get a seat so that they can experience what they need to gain from here. And by the way, War A Studios told us last year that they've never, ever, ever had this kind of kindness, respectfulness, gratefulness, and thankfulness than they had from the This Is It team last year when we were here. So give yourselves a hand. But we want to make sure that that's how you're going to build a team anyways. I mean, you're all trying to figure out all the things you got to say. I heard somebody out of the dressing room yesterday. This lady, she must have talked for 1 hour trying to explain how the X-39 works. All right. I will tell you that I say, hey, I feel better than I've felt in years. That's my testimony. And everybody relates. I don't say I had something in my stomach, the crib in there, and all of a sudden it disappeared. Doesn't relate to it. Give me the best. Give me the most intense testimony that you think, oh my gosh, this saved that lady's life, but she never sponsors a person. So the weirder your testimony, even if you got a weird one and it did work, don't tell anyone. Keep it relatable. They can't even believe that kind of a testimony. So I'm just telling you, again, everything I'm going to share with you up here is like, we have a strategy on This Is It team. It's not the only way. Janine will back me up that you can hit some of these ranks. But it's the way that we've proven that we're making it happen in a very fast way for the people that we're helping you get there as quick as you'd like to get, if you'd like to get there. Does that make sense? So it's a strategy. So everything I say, you don't have to. You could do what you want. But I figure if you invested to be here, you're invested to be online, that you want to hear what are we doing to make this happen in such a fun way and how we duplicating so quickly. Does that make sense? Wow, I have to admit, the speakers last night, I didn't think we could top last night's speakers, but this morning was off the chart. I mean, can you give everybody a hand for pouring out their hearts to all of us? And I just told Janine that we have 150 plus other friends that are just as good. It's hard to pick to have everybody up here. We're doing our best, okay? But everyone is going to get their chance. It's just a matter of, it's incredible what we're doing and how we're duplicating from people that have never had success like Penny, been in 20-some networks, but never had success, to people like Rick and Brittany, never been in a network, to people that have been in a network. So it's great to have this mixture, isn't it? So you can hear that people that see this business and understand it are coming on to LifeWave. That's very important for you to know. So we covered that. We really want to raise the bar of This Is It team because we're a team with every one of us. And I love Kendall was talking about, hey, I might have been a little bit simple, but every new year, no matter how good you got it, or even the stuff that we are explaining, you never want to forget the basics, because the basics is what's duplicatable, and you can't assume that the newest people in the room today know everything. So we do our best to try to explain. Now, if you didn't see something, like someone asked me yesterday, what's a three-way call? Penny explained that she contacts the person first, sees that they're interested. If somebody says, no, I'm not interested, she doesn't call Joe. Is that too complicated? Got it in the chat if you get it. You mean like, we're looking for people, I got a new one, that don't have dormant smart cells. Okay, I love Danny and Diane, right? But, we're looking for people that get it. And this is not rocket scientist, but you do have to start understanding it. And I will say, as I go through this compensation plan, all right, it's kind of like David Schmidt. If you try to explain everything he knows about the X-39, you're going to lose your prospects. You can't. All he's speaking for is to give Matt and myself this, oh my gosh, what we got our hands on here. You know what I mean? That's only what you need to use what I'm talking about. I just don't want you to miss how this works, because you still want to know, but you don't have to explain to someone. It's kind of like people are saying the compensation plan, the new one, is complicated. Well, I learned this from Merritt just 2 days ago, right? So it's amazing to be here, but I'm going to be saying this to anyone that says it. I'm like, you must not understand direct sales. Any compensation plan or any kind of change that they make it simple, that means they're trying to exit direct sales. So when they say, oh my gosh, this is complicated, yeah! The more complicated, the more they've got their feet in the sand or dug into direct sales. Is that amazing? I hope it's complicated. But you know what the blessing is? You don't have to know anything about how it works and you still can make it work. Okay? Because Mike said he didn't know anything about the 3 ways to make money. He just knows how to get to the money. Is that amazing? You only need to look at the strategy. So listen to us on the strategy and not the how to understand everything. Because if you wait for all that, if I put Matt Curtis up here, now he's my longest best friend, the first guy that I talked to, he didn't even ask me about the compensation plan. He said, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So it goes back to what people said about relationships. But even though now that he's at the pinnacle, making things happen, has most of the people that have been up on the stage, a lot of them are on his organization, he still can't explain the compensation. He can't tell you how you get paid. I already know it. Okay? And I'm not calling him out. Mike can't either. Okay? I mean, Andy can. Scott can, right? Right? So I'm not calling out those guys. They know. But you can be both kinds. You can know. But when Scott speaks to somebody, he doesn't tell them everything he knows. You see what I mean? So relax. You don't have to know everything. You got to go 1-star manager. Can you do that? Then 2-star. Then you help a friend go 1-star, 2-star. The whole plan is built around breaking 1-star, 2-star manager making machines, Javi. It's that simple. It's what created all this. Okay, so don't overcomplicate what we've got our hands on. Okay, so 2016, I talked about it earlier, build with urgency. All these people that were up on the stage, they're building it fast. That's where I got that. We got to build fast in 2026. We have got to think looking and building fast. Now, it's up to you, but I'd rather build fast and fun than slow and painful. So I pray that you really are you're wanting to do it. And believe me, Scott Thomas is looking for other people that want to build it fast. But how is he going to find them? He does it. How fast can you put 20 right, 20 left? Because as fast as you do it, that's what the other team members on your team are going to do. I'm not talking out of theory. I sponsor Mike and Saeed, Scott, and Renita, and they're right on my coattails. I had to keep putting people in so they don't pass me. Okay? And when you call them up, Renita's like, I am going to pass you. Now, how is your team when you call them up? Are they, oh, it's too complicated. They're not trying to pass you. Got it in the chat. If you get that. You're looking for people that want to pass you up. You know, I learned this a long time ago, and it's not a very comfortable thing, but sometimes I'm thinking this when I'm talking to you. All right? When you're asking me a question, you're looking people in the eye, Ricky, and you're like saying, as they're talking to you, is this someone that I can count my family's financial future on? Are you that person when I talk to you? Okay? So I might be a little tough because I want you to win. I mean, my wife, Gina, and myself, did she tear it up last night? Probably the best presentation I've ever seen in network marketing was last night. Okay, because she's just real. Now, there were a lot of good ones. Diane blew me away last night. I mean, it was amazing. Scott tore it up. Everybody was amazing. I don't want to go through the whole list, but it was wild what happened. And the attitude in the lobby of the Durango, I'm not sure where you're staying, but everybody when we were exiting was a complete different attitude, Ricky, than when they came in earlier in the day. It's like, oh my gosh, we are going to run with this community, with this team of people because they got our back. We want to win, okay? And don't think when you're getting a no, I'm getting a no, all right? But I'm going to get another one. Are you stopping? I'm not. Let me ask you a question. If I wasn't here for some reason, I'm not saying it, I'm not speaking it, I'm just saying if I wasn't here, would you keep running for your dream? That's the question you got to ask. So, I mean, you got to start thinking, if your upline wasn't there or wasn't with you at the moment, or they couldn't help you, would you run for your dream like Tessa did in Australia? You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Are you ready to make it happen? And you got some urgency. You got to get some urgency. I don't mean that you can't do this full time. Anybody saying they're doing, I mean, you don't need to quit your job right away because you need your job to relate to people and to be going, like, even if you're, I love what Mike said, but that he's got to purposely do that because he doesn't have a job. If you got a job, you're bumping into people all day. On the way to work, you're going to the coffee shop. You're persistently, what did Mike say? Figuring out ways for you to meet people. But first of all, get through your phone. I still got 1,000 names and Gina has 1,000 names in our phone. So if we've been in for 3 years and 3.5 years and we still got 2,000 names between us, then I'm sure you got more names. And the names that you still have in your phone are the ones that are going to do it because they're their chicken names. Got it? All right? You're trying to play God like, you know what? And this one I probably wouldn't do it. This one wouldn't do it. They're the ones that are going to do it. Don't make that mistake. All right? So have some urgency. Ownership creates leaders. We've been talking about this all. Joe, he has his own leadership calls or group calls, not just leadership. But I mean, he believes they're leaders because they're on the group call, right? I believe you're leaders because I believe in every single person. I believe everyone here is a winner. Everyone on the chat is a winner. I believe you're a champion. That's why I'm here. Okay. I want every single person to win. So when I come across and tell you something, you might say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said it, but that's because I want you to win. All right. So leaders, you got to take ownership of your business. Okay. You got to be you start with small things. Like, look at Joe said he started with 3 people. Okay. Then it just kept building and building. You do the exact same thing in whatever we're teaching. Okay. Let's talk about compliance. Give Janine a hand for taking up that conversation because it's not easy. All right. But my goal right now is to help the This Is It team be the most compliant team in LifeWave. Is that pretty good? Because that is very, very important because if we want a legacy business for Joe and Shayna's kids, we got to stay compliant. And it's not easy. And by the way, they're making new guidelines at the government that you can't do things. They're not actually law yet, but let's get ahead of the game. Okay? You're not allowed to, believe it or not, share your car or your backyard or your house. It's true. If you say freedom, you can't. These are things you need to learn. Like, I'm just telling you out, you need to start learning, okay? This is our government, by the way, and Tessa's understanding that the Australian government shut our website down because somebody said something, Now they're slowly bringing it back, but it's tough, and it's around the world. But we can be better than that, you know what I mean? We can talk to people, okay? By the way, I've never really ever sponsored anybody by showing them all the stuff I have. I sponsor more people when I had my family van than I sponsor when I have the sports car. Okay? As a matter of fact, when I married Gina, I promised her to get her a sports car. And then we had 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. So then we're looking at cars, and I'm like, look at this minivan. Gina, now the tough part for me is she's so sharp. I tried to talk her into, if we put a racing stripe down this minivan, it looks kind of like a sports car, but she wouldn't buy that, right? Now, she's got a beautiful sports car, an expensive sports car. I ain't going to say what it is. I want to be compliant. All right. So there's things we're going to learn and help. And by the way, Julie who heads up right underneath Doug Whitehead, who's been in I've only signed up 2 times before this one in my life in 39 years. And that shows you loyalty. We're not running around. Everyone thinks the grass is greener on the other side. Watch it. Be careful. The minute you go over there, they're going to do something. Okay? See this team of people. They see where they're going, and it's off. The potential for you is off the chart. But you got to get zoned in and focused on what we got our hands on. Okay? But let's really work as a team on this. And if you got questions, we'll keep everyone up to speed. It's kind of like we had to shut down the YouTube channel because we're making it more compliant. We had to update our presentation sheet, our opportunity presentations to make it more compliant, right? Now, you can talk to people personally, explain, but it's very difficult to kind of switch it off. I'm uncompliant here, but I'm compliant there. So be careful on it. My goal is for everyone to have, you can't say diseases. How many people have done open meetings and they're all talking about diseases? Be careful. You can't say that. What's my testimony? I feel better than I ever have in the last 10 years. And sign everybody up. That's looking. I mean, I don't count the ones that, like in real estate, if you're trying to sell someone a house and they don't want to sell their house, I'm not talking to that person. That's not a no to me. You know what I mean? So if somebody doesn't have a dream or they don't want to have better health, that's not a no. You're counting that as a no. So when I say I sign everybody up that has a dream. So that I get yeses all the time. I never think of that person. Like, where'd they go? I don't even see them. You're still thinking and letting it pester on you. I guess it comes out the competitor in me that I know what I'm looking for. What is the system? They keep saying a system. It's everything we've been talking about, the Saturday team trainings. You got to get this plethora of different people messages in your team. Would you agree that everyone up here is relating to different people on the virtual everywhere we're at? So you got to get that in your team. Don't take lightly. All your other meetings should go around the meetings that we have on This Is It team because you want to point to these opportunities. You're not having to do the work. So do it at 6 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Or you work around the Zoom opportunity meeting so your team hears and get to know the people. Scott was a financial planner. You got to hear him talk. Renita's a fitness coach. Ricky's got an incredible message. You get the people. You got to promote, like Joe was saying, the people, get to know them. How do you know them? By being on. And then the Saturday trainings is what rocketed this thing off the chart to make it happen. So then we went over all the different things that you got, event to event strategy. Then you got to plug your team into the system. So you've got to get the teams plugged in to what we're doing. And if they don't get plugged in, it's like you can't start a franchise that you buy unless you go to their university. You can't be a flight attendant unless you went to flight attendant school. Matt had to be an apprentice. I mean, you're going to have to go to learn your career, and this is it, and we cram it in. I mean, have we been cramming it in this weekend? You get a whole education in 2 days, and you're ready, and we go. So you got to get them plugged in. You got to get good at it. I love Joe and Shanna. You guys did amazing. Shayna, you did amazing. Joe and Shayna, give them a hand. Explaining. And the Warren Beers, they did amazing last night talking about duplication. Kendall talking about how simple it is, but you got to plug them in so that, and this is the biggest topic you should be teaching. And by the way, it's so easy to be compliant with duplication because all we're talking about is duplicating. Duplicating means, I didn't say it, right? Okay, so that's just the key that I'm going to be teaching in 2026 because people don't get it. People don't understand how to duplicate their efforts. They were never taught it. As a matter of fact, they don't want to hear it because nobody wants to do something different. But when they see how big and what they can do when they understand the duplicatable model, somebody that's rolling their eyes back saying, I'm coming to a sticker convention, which is Rick Francis, who's now up on the panel. When they see the potential and they don't have to be a car salesman. Okay, you can be relatable. Like your salespeople don't usually do the best in this because you're not trying to close a sale. I'm looking for somebody who wants to partner up with me. I can't have buyer's remorse, so they don't want to stick with me. Does that make sense? So, but you got to get this duplicate. And the best way, Joe said it, is to get them to these events. So do not take that lightly. But if you can't get them on a Saturday training or an opportunity meeting, you got to get with your upline and figure out how can I look at the people here. Look at them all online, all right? So do we got the power of duplication? And we've got to teach this. Everybody say, got it. If you get, this is very important message that everyone has to learn in 2026 because nobody knows about, you know how you say, nobody knows about X39. Nobody knows about how to duplicate their efforts. Is that amazing? You're getting like an education on how to do it. Kendall said, keep it simple. Many of the folks up here said, point to where you got to go. And then we get them to these events. I would have to say our biggest key to Gina's and my success is I let Danny and Diane and Andy and Mandy and Matt and Kim and everyone up here that was up here on these panels speak to my team, and I don't have to. It'll blow your, you will see the duplication effect. Is that a better way to say it? Okay. It'll put your business in the duplication mode zone in a big way. But you got to get that. This is why I'm like, we're so talking about it, but I pray, tell me you got it if you just get what I said. You got to get into these events, but start with the Saturdays. We got 8 months of Saturdays. Think about it. It's hard to get as excited in a closet when you're on a Zoom, all right, as you can hear. So, but after 8 months, we're all going to gather together and we're financing your trip. So, you just put your deposit down, $149, and you lock it in. Come on. Does anyone know how expensive it is to go to dinner? It's like people say, my team don't have any money. Okay, you just said something to me. You're talking to broke people. Because I'm in Utah, and I try to go to dinner, and I can't get in because it's packed. So someone has money. Go to that restaurant. You know what I mean? Hey, you got money, go there. Understand the pro strategy and stay consistent. Patch or contact, not just patch. I only use the phone for the first 90 days. I never left my house. Okay? So this is what we did. We just made calls. Then me and Gina bumped into, we were like saying, we're onto something. It's going to be incredible. We're going to duplicate this fast. Then we follow up, and then we point to the opportunity Zooms, which has been, but this is the pro strategy. Patch, revisit, opportunity. Got it? Okay. So when you see someone, how many people did you pro today? I love with Carrie Beatley. Amazing. Did you hear the Saturday training? What's Saturday training? Her team's not plugged in. Whoever she was talking to, right? I love what she said. They say they're all in, but they don't know what a Saturday training is. Okay. So if you can, this is a way you can test if your friends are in the system. How many people did you pro today? I don't know. They don't get it. They didn't say got it in the chat. Okay. Simple. We talk about X39, right? So all we talk about is the X39, and you keep it so simple that everybody can understand. You don't try to make it complicated. If I say I feel better than I ever had in the last 10 years, and the guy's rolling his eyes back, I'm running. I'm done already. This lady was trying to convince this person for 1 hour outside the dressing room out there. Me and Gina heard it. We're like, oh my gosh, we got to tell the people. It's not that complicated. If they don't get it after the first 2 sentences, we got to move on. Okay? So, but I only talk about this. Some of you have to bite your lip that you want to put another patch or whatever. Too complicated. When they get signed up, they don't know what to do. They're going to buy all the patches when they get their packet. They don't know what to do. They're going to be studying the patch protocol that I don't even know that David even knows about. Somebody made it up, as far as I can tell, right? I know this one. You stick it where it hurts. Any complicated? No. You got it? Stick it where it hurts. Okay? That's not too complicated. That's what he said, right, David? I think it's compliant. I don't know. Okay. All right. Make the calls. If you did an exam, give the panel a hand that did the contacting one, Okay. All right. Momentum starts with duplication plus speed. It's all got to do with speed, fast. We're looking for people. You're like, you know why we teach the 20 right, 20 left? So that you find people that want to build it fast. This is why you're looking for people that want to make something happen. We teach it so you're not pushing your goals that you're going to have this weekend. Okay. That's why we do the commitment card. Come on. Anyone that sets a goal, sometimes you're going to hit it sooner, sometimes later, but 5 right, 5 left. I believe you could do it in a month. Okay. Renita says a day because she did it. I'm sorry, but I had to keep my foot on the gas every day for the Hernandez and the Brannons. So they pushed me. If you sponsor a Brannon couple, then you're going to have to keep your foot on the gas to stay ahead of them. Every day every time I want to get lazy, well, first of all, I got Gina. Okay. And she knows how to motivate me. Anyway, so, but then again, I got Scott and Renita, the Brannons, and all of you pushing on the gas saying, we're going to pass you up. So if you don't have a team like that, then you're not have anyone pushing you. Okay, so this is what we have. But you want to get your commitment card filled out. Those of you on the virtual, make sure you filled out your virtual. You just go to the website. Somebody put in the chat if you know what it is, but there should be a scanner code. This is it, team. Oh, this is easy. This is it, team.com/all-in. Give it up to my daughter, Mia, that helps put together all this stuff, you know? I mean, Andy, this is how we listen on our This Is It team. Andy and Mandy throw me the concept. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, because Scott tore it up and said, hey, 21 people in 21 days. So some of you are like, oh my God. Now, Renita, I told her to do it. She did it. Okay. But some of you might be going, I don't know if I could do that. Okay. Then Andy says, hey, how about if we help people put 5 right, 5 left in the next 60 days? Can you do that? I mean, if you're all in, come on. I mean, someone said people aren't listening to me. Well, we stay minimum 5 people a day. That's about 35 people a week. You can't tell me you're talking to 35 people in a week and nobody wants to have better health and want to take advantage of what we got our hands on. That make sense? Show me your calendar. I want to see your 35 people. Okay? Maybe you should say that to your team. No one's getting in. Let me see your 35 people. I want to see what they said. That's how you build speed. Okay? I mean, you didn't come here for okay, when I signed up, we were like number 68 on the momentum ranks. So I could see Scott and Renita and Brandon and Hernandez yawning, waiting until we got more up the ranks, but they didn't. They helped me create up to the number 1. And I'm not just talking about them only. It's just because they were the first ones I called some of the first ones, and the Curtises, and they all, I think Matt sponsored, he did double 20 right, 20 left within the month. So, I mean, who are you sponsoring? Carpenter, tired of swinging a hammer. He's not an influencer, you know what I mean? I got Javi. He's never succeeded in this business before. I mean, I'm like, look at the stage. If you think they can do it, you just got to decide if you're going to be part of it. Okay, 2020. Now, again, remember the basics, but some are brand new. They don't know this. Now, why do we teach? Is this going to go on? So we can turn this on, right? The 20 right, 20 left. By the way, you want to have an upline that is not afraid of drawing out how this works. Okay? So you're the upline. Start figuring it out, okay? Just go on This Is a Team, and there's 2 videos of me explaining this. Since our very first convention, I'm saying the exact same thing. Thank you, Kendall. All right? She said, Steve says the same thing every time, okay? But you want to get it. We are in a binary. Somebody was like, and again, they might have been brand new, so I'm not going to call them out, but they were on the chat last night when Andy was explaining how this works. But your right team in the binary and your left team in the binary is the same in the unileft, because we say we have a hybrid. We actually did have a hybrid. It's a lot more of a hybrid than it was before, which is a blessing, okay? So understand that your right team and your left team can be drawn out like this, and it can be drawn out like this. So that's what they didn't understand. They're like, it looks like you're sponsoring 10 legs. That's where you were talking. They didn't. I saw it. So I'm like, they don't get it. So I want to get it. Guys, got it? Your right team and your left team can be drawn both ways. You got a 20 right, 20 left. So you'd have 40 people in your unilevel. Okay. And in Andy's case, he's drawing out that you got 5 and 5. Let's start with 5 and 5. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Let's not try to get the whole way in just one. Don't look at the 2020. Look at everything that was said last night. It's like you might say, oh, this is complicating. Scott's talking about the 21-day fast start. Andy's talking about the 5 right, 5 left, sponsor 10 in the next 60 days. We're trying to accommodate whoever you are. Okay. If you set a goal to put 5 right, 5 left, believe me, you're going to be rocking this just because you set the goal. Okay. But understand, if you're going to put 20 right, 20 left, here's 5, 5. That's a little chunk of the 20 right, 20 left. And here's 4 and 4. And then you're going to camp out with the people that want to go 1-star, 2-star manager. So it's the same thing when you go 5 and 5. If I sponsor the Brannons and they want to go 1-star, 2-star manager, I'm going to help them do Zooms and talk and make calls, 3-way calls, kind of like Penny. She finds out if they're interested, texts her upline, hey, who can get on the call with me? I'll jump on the call. Now you're like saying, well, I want Steve on the call. You're going to have to be the leader yourself, because how am I going to do all 3-way calls for everybody here? And then all the chat. It's like, I want to do what Kendall says. If we all work together as a team, then we don't have the one person, laying on the floor. We all can lay on the floor because we're worn out, tongue hanging out. Does that make sense? Okay, so, but you got to get that. These are what the tools are here. So 5 and 5 goes right in line with everything we're doing. It sets you up. But it's like if you set a goal for 21 people in 21 days, you got to make sure you meet what you set the goal for. Okay, so we're making the commit. We're saying that if everyone in this room sponsored 5 right and 5 left in the next 60 days, and everyone you sponsor, you're talking about putting 5 right, 5 left. Can you imagine what happens? So we're just simplifying it down, because what happens is I didn't call the 4 people, or the 1 right, 2 right, 1 right and left, 2 right and left, to go 1-star, 2-star managers for Renita and Scott. They called their own. So when you put the people in, you're going to find the ones that are going to go make it happen. And some are calm and meek about the call, like Penny, right? Some are intense, like Mike was, but he had to turn more like a penny, right? That's what he said. Did you get it? Okay. He was like throwing up on everybody. Then he had to start being calm. So on this 20 right, 20 left, the goal is, what does it do? Okay. Sponsor 20 right, 20 left. Okay. Now, always keep them to the far outside. Okay. New persons. If this is my sister and I feel sorry for her, but I meet Scott Brennan in the airport and he said, oh my gosh, I'm onto this. I see it. People feel sorry for their sister, so they think, I'm going to put Scott right there. Now, all you have to do right now is focus on 2 legs. But now, because you put Scott there, I gotta take responsibility and help him. So now I gotta help him build another leg. So now I have 3 legs. Oh, do you feel sorry for this one and this one and this one and this one? Now you got to help all of these people, okay, on the inside leg, and you're going to be worn out, and you're not going to see the duplication effect happen. So trust our first mover advantage of doing this. 20 right, 20 left, always to the outside. Got it in the chat? Okay. 90-day period creates the urgency. So it's no different than what Scott's talking about or what Andy's talking about. You got to do it quickly. Okay. Urgency creates momentum. You're going to have, out of the 20 right, 20 left, 4 to 6 people that are ready to go now. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the people that want to pass you up. If every morning you wake up to situations or criers, then you're not have the same organization that you want to have to put this duplication effect into place, right? Well, how do you do it? Okay, take the whiner, help them make a list, and you make the calls. Hey, this is Steve Merritt. You don't know me, but I'm a friend of Mario Cabral's. He said you're really sharp, own a plumbing business. It's the same call that you're going to do anyone else. Hey, I'm on to something big. We got this new technology. Just won the award for stem cell technology of the year. Just won this award, okay? And because of it, there's an opportunity behind it. Are you open, And then Mario's friend can answer. It's a much easier call because they're Mario's friends. I don't even know them. I don't even care. I don't even know them. So you're never going to see them in your life because you don't even know who they are. Isn't that interesting? But instead of waiting to find another one, help those lead you to somebody else. Because didn't Mike say, I don't think you've ever said it, but his sponsor years ago, he quit right away, but I work with Mike. See, you just work with the people that want to make it happen. And now with the new enhancement, I still call it enhancement because with no structure, you don't know what you have your hands on. 10% of the binary, 10% of your lesser leg happens no matter what, even in non-momentum periods. This is very powerful, but most people don't get it. They calculate and say, oh, I got to put more points in to do this. Yeah, because you don't have a structure and it's easier to make the money. You just got to understand what we got our hands on and go all in. I mean, roll up your shirt sleeves and make it happen. Okay. Create 1 and 2 star manager. We've been talking about that. 4 to 6 will be ready within the, down the road. Okay. In the next 90 days, because you can't help everybody at once. Because how many people do you have that are kind of like, maybe like Mario was saying, like I was talking about Mario, maybe they're not quite ready. I have to help them make phone calls with them. Or maybe he led me to Tessa and I worked with Tessa before Mario was ready. This is a true story. So you watch, it's not always your personals. In the new plan, they take out all the people that aren't 1-star director and you get paid only for the 1-star and above. So you don't have to, you don't have to pray that they quit. You get it? Because if I sponsor a friend and then they sponsor Matt Curtis and my friend doesn't do anything, then I'm not making I can't get the full potential in the old plan because I gotta, I'm only gonna get in the second generation because my first generation is still counting for my friends. So I'm like, these patches don't really work. Don't you want to get done taking them? I mean, they're not really, it's kind of whoever came up with that, didn't make sense either. So see, like, you could look at that way in the old plan and you could find bullets to poke at, you know what I mean? Let's go. They got the best people, put everything together. David's heart, Meredith's hearts, and her corporate team wants to serve you. I've never been on a corporate team that I can email the top corporate people on the weekend and they still want to, they still want to help us. So give them a hand. They're amazing. All right. All right. Oh, by the way, just looking at the binary, but I'll explain it with the other one, is this, okay? You see how, if this is your team now, 20 right, 20 left, and you're making some money, okay? The problem with this is you're the only one making money. So in order to solidify your business, this is why I say, okay, we need 36 months, 3 to 5 years so we can solidify your business. Why do you say that? I'm not going to say that you can't start the duplication effect and start running through the ranks, but you want to have your team doing the same thing. So you want to help Betty here build her business so it looks like this. You see how she's got a leg here and here, and then you want to help this person. Now, of course, she's got to help put people on both sides of the tree in order for her to move through the ranks. But I'm just showing you an example that the trees, when you look into your back office, do they look like this? Or when you look in your right leg and left leg, do they just go straight down and nobody sponsoring anybody? And if there's a pattern with your own personals, that's it's on you. Like, if you could say, if I sponsor one person and they say, my group's not doing it, well, you got the one person. But if you sponsor 10 and nobody's doing anything, you're creating a pattern here. You're probably going home, logging on, and looking to see if Scott's doing anything. Don't worry, he was. But, it could be somebody on your team that you probably know who they are, okay? But you're supposed to be making the calls with them, taking back what you're learning here, and you implement it till they're ready, okay? So that's what you understand. You got it? Everybody that you want to be your trees want to look like this, okay? Now I'm going to explain the binary, the unilevel. Now, if you look at this is my right team and this is my left team. Here's my right team, see it? And my left team, okay? So here we go on the right, the left. Now it's not exactly this, and I have them listed as A, B, and C. These are my biggest legs so it goes A, B, C, D, E. But realistically, this number one here is this number one here. This number two here is this number two. Now, if I was drawing this out, or I was going to have you draw it out, I would make sure that you skip the ones that aren't doing anything, and they would just list them up here and put their name. But just to show you that this is how it works. So anyone that said they were thinking Andy was sponsoring 10 different lines or legs, he was sponsoring them, but they were still in the binary. Okay, you see? So here's one leg over here, number one. Here's number two. You got it? You got it? Okay. I only got so much time to explain, but if you go on the website, you'll get it more and more, right? And your upline knows exactly what they're doing, okay? Get with Joe if you're on his team. Anybody here on Joe's team? Mark my case, all right? I'm not going to call everybody out because I don't want to whimper on someone's name. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But this is how I just wanted to let you know, because I know this industry. I watch people in these meetings to see how many people, like when Joe walks, he's got, he looks like, Jesus and the disciples, everybody following him. You know what I mean? Okay, all right? So I see it, and they're like tugging on him, asking him, what did you mean by this? What does Steve mean? Is he talking four? What did Andy mean with four, 5 right, 5 left, okay? But then there's some people walk around like movie stars. They got nobody following them. I'm working with Joe. See what I mean? You're looking for people that have a following, that people, they're getting it. That's who you want to work with, okay? So this isn't a movie star thing. It's really like, if you came here thinking you're going to be like a movie star, you're in the wrong business. You're going to be like, they're talking about throwing up, not literally throwing up, but you know what I mean? Like, people are, you got to help get them through their struggles and what they're going through. And that's why they love you. You get it? So, okay, you guys got this. Now watch, this is my A leg. So this is number, like, in the binary, it'd be like over here, I think this is number 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3 on this side is the one that's doing the most work. and I'm helping down on the bottom do three-way calls, like Penny said, doing Zoom calls and events. I will tell you the problem with the Zooms is the business spreads so quickly to different parts of the world and the country faster. I'm not saying don't do those. I'm saying make sure you're doing home X39 launch events and clubhouses. I don't suggest hotel meetings because they're not duplicatable. It costs too much nowadays. But clubhouses can usually be free for the person or your house. And if every night, it depends how bad you want to make it happen. But even if you said 2 nights, 3 nights a week, you're doing a home get together, and you go from, if I'm working Scott and Renita's team, I'm going to help the people underneath them just keep doing home get togethers at their house over and over and over and over again. Okay. So that's what you do. So now you're going to be able to create. The reason you have a huge blessing is because almost every city you're from, somebody just told me they're from Tennessee. Somebody said they're from Georgia. It's wide open everywhere because of the Zoom. You understand what I'm saying? Because it just spread like, look at Mario's in the room. I've never been to Australia. I will promise I'm going to come. Tessa's saying, yeah, win. But point is that we're here. We because of the Zoom, it took me all the way to Australia that quick. So I'm not saying don't use the Zoom, but your towns are wide open. Okay. So I hope you got it. So you should be like right now booking a home get together with somebody on your team that's here or on the chat, and fill your calendar. You never tell your whole team that you're doing a meeting at Mario's house, because all of a sudden this many people come to Mario's house and he's mad at me. Okay? You want to, and then you'd have nothing to do on Tuesday, because if you didn't tell your other friend to have his meeting the next day, now they're doing their meeting. You really want to put the people on the chopping block. What do I mean by that? If you have 20 right, 20 left, they know you have a lot of options to work with. If Rick and Brittany don't fill their house, I'm going somewhere else. Does that make sense? And they have to have that attitude too. No problem. It's just like, I want to get this thing done in 2026. I'm building fast. I mean, Rick and Brittany were nowhere. He's in the back, rolling his eyes. We're in a sticker meeting a year ago. Now he's on the stage. Okay. So that's how fast it can happen, but you got to find him. Okay. And by the way, I don't even think Diane prospected Brittany. Brittany just saw Diane and Danny, the way they live their life. And she said, whatever they're doing, I want to be part of. I mean, Andy never got prospected. He overheard Ken saying technology, and he said, I want to see it. I'm sorry that I'm over eavesdropping. Thank you. All right. And he sponsored himself. And you're like saying, this is the hardest thing to, guy sponsoring himself. So I'm just putting things in perspective, how you see it. It's how we all see it. Okay. It's what you see. So this is your A leg. Get it. You're going to be working the A leg. You can help them on both sides. I don't care, but I'm more focused on, you're not really responsible for building both sides of their leg. So you want to stay zoned in and build a business down underneath them somewhere for the most excited person. Okay. Now, if this person is excited and this one came to this weekend's event or is on virtually, I'm working with it. I just keep going up until I find the most excited one. Okay. And I'm going to do Zooms, 3-way calls, and home meetings. I'm camping out, helping them go 1-star, 2-star manager. Oh, now this one's ready to go 1-star, 2-star manager. This one's ready to go 1-star, 2-star manager. 1-star. That's why a lot of times very analytical people get very bored and they leave, because it's the same thing every day. But those of us that didn't go to school, we love it because there's no homework. Same thing. We never have to think. We don't have to do that. Once you get it, like Gina said, once you get it, you get it. But you got to get it. Look at how Mike, he had to learn how to talk. Okay. You probably can relate, a lot of you. All right. So I've never stopped throwing up, but I talk to enough people that they get it. So, but it's up to you. Like a no doesn't scare me. Okay. Because the falls that I took, 1,000 falls to be a world champion for one trick. And they hurt a lot more. Even Scott, he was out there with me. He lost his shorts. So that's how tough it is. Your shorts gone. You fall, the shorts are gone. His kids were with me, so they know. All right. Okay. So, luckily, we had a towel on the boat, okay? But that's how fast you go, right? So anyways, now this is my B leg. I'm working down in the depth, okay? And this is my C leg. So you got to find 3 legs, or you can have a combo. Now, they do have the combo, so you can build 2 legs on one side and 1 on the other, or that other leg could be a combo. And I don't have a problem with that, because you see how I have, these are other legs that are building, C and D and E. So you have your A, B, and C that they require for the company, but I have a C and a D and an E that are my in the hopper legs. They and who knows if this guy with E sponsors, a Matt and Kim Curtis or someone that's going to go tear it up, or a Joe Navarro right here, and now all of a sudden this leg turns into my A leg. That's why you keep prospecting, and you always keep prospecting so that I'm not going to Joe Getz's house or taking his contacts and practicing on his. I'm already doing it, so it's like flowing on the tip of my tongue, okay? Now watch. This is what I really wanted to show this. Our goal to build this business is 1, 2, and 3 legs. I've always taught this. 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Okay? A lot of times people like to put everybody on one side because their upline is building on the other, but that's really, even in the old plan, you don't really understand it, because when you put somebody in on a leg that's driving, and they wake up and they see other people put them underneath them, their eyeballs get this big, and you can actually create way more momentum in the leg that you share with your upline. So you should have done that before, but if you didn't, you need to start doing it now, because now the company says we require it, and it's way better for them to understand it. Okay, so now watch the similarities here. This is 1-star director. By the way, this is what we're all shooting for, because remember what everybody was teaching. 1-star directors is where you start getting paid from the mentor matching. So you should be looking in your back office, like Andy showed us at the leadership meeting. You got to get to the leadership meeting so you can hear it. But he taught us that we need to have people going 1-star director. So you just look it up and you'll see what you got to do. Basically, it says right here, you need to have 2 legs at 1,000 points. Okay. All right. If I told you how much volume we do this is a 4-week rolling, I mean, I'd have to give you oxygen. So 1,000, come on. You want to hear from somebody that come on, you could do this, okay? 1,000, right? So 2 of them, so 2 legs. So these each have over 1,000. So you have a leg there, and then you have to have a third one, binary balance, or your other side of the leg tree. So you have your right team and your left team. You have to have at least 2 legs, or you could have one that equal 1,000 points. In this case, I got a combo, right? So watch. The strategy to win in network marketing is right what I drew out here. An A leg, a B leg, and a C leg. See any resemblance? Okay. Now this might have like 1,500, so this would be your, A, B, and C. See? And anything can change at any time. You got this guy making it happen. You got this one making it happen. You don't know. And then it's in the binary, you see. 5,000 points. So you have to have 5,000 points on one side, 1,000 on the other. Okay? You got it? You got it? So it's not 6 legs, 20 legs. You're still a binary, 20 right, 20 left, but these are inside because you're getting paid unilever. And it was the same in the old plan. Okay? They just give you the potential is greater with what we have here. Now this is 1-star director, get it. So you should draw this on your in your mirror, when you wake up every morning. I'm going to be breaking 1-star. So after you go 1-star manager and 2-star manager, help a friend. Now I'm going to help Scott and Renita help one of their people go 1- and 2-star manager, to the point where I have 1,000 points in that leg. Now somebody said, what about customers? Okay. Just a little heads up. When I talk to somebody, I can feel out, do they want to take advantage of an opportunity and duplicate themselves, or they just want to feel better than they have in the last 10 years. So I just go that route, whatever they are. I will say that I'm not very good at servicing everybody. Like, imagine me calling everybody up saying, hey, did you put your patch on today? Like, I'm going skiing. You know what I mean? Sorry. But so I'm really, but you're looking for customers. But remember I love what Andy said. Steve, we're looking for people. Whatever the people want, we're going to help them. So it's not like get frustrated. It's like, if you want to be more customer focused, you can make money quicker at the customers to help your friend if they need to make money real quick. Okay. But if you want to go build a long-term business, you're going to want to have leaders that they're telling us to teach here in the business. Now watch, this is 1-star. You only need 2 legs at 1,000 and another leg at 1,000, and you're set. Now you can start. Now you got to do it yourself first, and then you teach it. Is that okay? You got it? All right, good. I got 6 minutes, so I got to move. All right, I want to show you this. This is a 1-star presidential, so it's like second or third from the highest rank there is. You see a resemblance. 1 leg, 2 leg, and 2 here. Let's just say this is 100,000, just so you can say this would be your C leg. So you have your A leg, but you see it's the same as this 1-star director with more points. This is the power of duplication. Because once you put the power of duplication in, you think I can stop Joe from building this? I can't stop him. I mean, I really could just, if everybody here was a Joe, I'd probably be on the beach. But you're going to be. Are you right? Okay? But I love this industry too much that I just can't. I mean, look, I rented this place out. We got to do this. I mean, the attitude of everybody from the very first, when we walked in yesterday to last night, it was a complete turnaround. People were just like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it with these people. I love everyone that was talking about you're doing it with the people, not because of the patch. Praise God that we got David Schmidt, or we wouldn't have the opportunity. Okay? So without him, right? But we know how to build this. And now I don't say this to the new person that gets in, Scott. I just say we're going to go 1-star, 2-star manager. Okay? I'm talking to Scott, who's underneath you in the back, but I'll talk, you're nodding too. So both of you are nodding, right? So now watch. So, and by the way, my brother, Scott, I said, hey, you'd be great. You're a marathon runner. Try this patch out. And when I went back to my parents' house, they said, hey, Scott said he left these patches here for you. He's not going to try them. You think I don't get a no, right? So I know my brother, my sister, my other sister, none of them, and their spouses, they all said no. But I will say they look so much older, and they're much slower. You watch. I'm going to get some pictures with them because I just was them at a wedding, right? My nephew got married, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank God I put the patch on. And my wife, Jean, and I were the oldest. And believe me, she is much quicker than every single one of them. Okay, so if you want to know, this is a good way to get someone to think about the patch. From our experience, the ones who don't wear the patch look older, about 10 years minimum. Most of them were 20. This is my case study. And they move so much slower. So if you want to look older and slower, don't wear it. And every morning they're going to wake up and think of you when they look in the mirror. Was Renita right? Oh my gosh, I need that patch. See, you do a little bit, maybe Rick says, hey, he teaches his team, you would look really good driving that car down the road. I mean, I don't know what it is when you do a car, but with the patch, you just give them the other, instead of telling them what it does, say what happens if you don't wear it. Throw it at you, just try. All you're doing is trying, see what happens, but I'll never forget about it. It's like what somebody was up here saying, like I say, I think it was Joe, it said Steve, or Mike said, look at somebody that's in your business, in your occupation 20 years longer than you, that's you in 20 years. And they never forget it. Say, remember me every time you look around your office, and they can't stand you. Like, oh, I can't stand, there I am. I can't stand Steve because he's showing me where I'm going to be. So you see the resemblance, it's just more volume, 3 legs. Isn't that neat that you don't have to learn anything different? You just keep driving those 3 legs. Now, how do you do it? You start by making the commitment, power of 10, 5 right, 5 left, all right? Then you work on the 21-day fast start, okay? And you kind of feel the people out too. Like maybe there's someone that you feel like needs 60 days. Maybe I got a Scott and Renita, I'd be throwing them that 21-day fast start right off the bat. So it's kind of like, do they want a customer? Do you want to build a business? Same way, how fast they want to build it, okay? But once they get it, it's like Andy didn't do anything for a year. Danny didn't do anything for a year. But also once they get it, they're the 21-day fast start. I mean, you don't know it's a timing like we were talking about, okay? All right, so you got that? All right, let's finish up these slides real quick. I just wanted you to see how all this fits into the play. And we know what we're doing. It's not like we're going away. We're all around here to help everybody throughout 2026 win. Okay, so it's not like, oh, I didn't get it, okay? No, we're here. If you didn't quite get it, we'll make it happen. But again, remember, we're praying that you don't have dormant smart cells, okay? And you don't have dormant work cells. And you're not going to get through a no with a dormant dream cell. Thank you, Danny and Diane. I mean, you got to start thinking about this, okay? There's a coach. I was just watching a game, and he said, winning is the only thing. Okay, I'm just saying that some people have that attitude. I love people. I care about people. That's why I have everybody here. Okay. But I like the attitude of, hey, you got to win. Okay. Because, it's important. But I mean, I came from Wisconsin, Vince Lombardi, right? Said winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. So that's kind of what I was brought up in the entire growing up. So isn't it good to have somebody like that on the team? We're going to win. All right. And you can win. Okay. So quit talking about we're going to do it. Because we're doing it. People are saying we're going to do it. No, do it now. People have been talking about it, okay? So I wanted to show you that when you're going through this plan, Your goal is to create those managers, the same thing that I just drew out. You see how before you build it huge, you got to first help them go 1 and 2 star manager, but you need about 6 2-star managers right and left that'll start creating a legacy business for you. Remember what I said, you don't want to have nobody making money. You want to start helping your team. Now, if they ghost you on the phone, that's a sign they're not interested. Does that make sense? Some people need an education on that. I get it. They don't call me back, they're not looking. Even if they signed up. Sometimes they just signed up to get you off their back. I don't know. I mean, that's what they did. So it happens to all of us. 1 and 2 star manager. We went through all this. Let's just see what the last things are. I think I covered so much, everybody. Hey, I love this, especially international people. The company has offered this trip, and all of the SPDs went out. Was it a fun trip or what? I mean, it was a memory-making trip that you want to have for your team. 60 already qualified. They fly you into Salt Lake City, take you to Park City, and then they show you the world headquarters. You can experience the world headquarters, and they let you go visit. They have different things depending on the time of the year. You could maybe go snow skiing, shopping in Park City, experiencing the Olympic Park. Okay, so you have this kind of thing happening. But the point is that every time you do this, you have help someone go 2-star executive. They take them in, and this is a team. This just tells you how serious Gene and I are. If you wanted to know. We bought a house just down the street from where they put you at the Grand Hyatt, and the SPDs came there. Was it a pretty good? All right. There's plenty of room for everybody. It was in that video. Maybe they'll play it again where we have a meeting in our gym. So we help everybody, and we're waving the checkered flag, basically saying, hey, congratulations, and we're here to help you. All right. So you can see how much fun we're having. Okay. Okay. We talked about this. I hope you got this. Okay. Maybe I could put this up real detail, and then you get it. This is for the people that pay for everything. So instead of paying $1,800, you pay $1,399, and now you never have to pay again. You're set for 2 people, okay, to have this kind of training. That includes the banquet that we have. That includes the entire training and the hotel. You got it? A whole package. So we're all together, okay? Now, if you can't afford one of those prices, okay, then you just have to sponsor 4 premiums. Is that simple? I mean, just start thinking, or they can upgrade. I think they've got a promo maybe coming. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but there's promos coming that you could just even help you fund your business. Don't spend it, okay? Invest in yourself like you're doing here. I'm preaching to the choir, but maybe the guys online, we can help you. Now, you got all the way now here, in order to lock in your price, you could just pay those deposits, and we finance your way there. Is that pretty cool? It's just like a hotel. If you pay up front, they give you a discount because that's what the hotel says. I'm just following the hotel, right? Here, you get a discount, you get it locked in the price. And then you make another couple payments, and we help you along the way. You got that? Now, again, this is what I want it to be. We're a football team. We're gonna go and play in the national championships, just like coming up soon. Imagine if all of us in Orlando are just laying on the floor, exhausted, tongue hanging out, because we promoted so big following Joe and Shayna's training, okay? Because you had so many people there, we had so many people, and can you imagine the people that are on virtual and here? Their business is going to be unstoppable coming out of this event. I'll tell you, they're not going to, no is going to scare them. Nothing is going to scare them, all right? And they're going to make it happen. So I pray that they get that down, right? And I think that's, so anyways, this is where you want to go. Okay, last thing before I wrap it up. Okay. Most important thing, this is the most important probably, as you go into 2026. You got to have what I call a winning edge, a mental toughness. Gina talked about it last night. She said it different, leather skin. You got to be tough. I had a best friend doctor say, Steve, I tried LifeWave. I'm not surprised because it mostly was promoted by doctors for 19 years before I started. One of my best friends, my doctor friend. And he said, we tried it with all my doctor friends and it didn't work. Whatever you do, don't do it. It won't work. Now, I don't know what you would do, but I'm like, I prayed for this. Watch me. And it drove me. Mental toughness, okay? You got to get toughness cells. Don't let your toughness cells go dormant. Okay? Put that on your mirror. I got tough cells, and they're getting active. All right. You got to make a total commitment. Too many people have lost their toughness. Many of you never had a business before, so you don't know how you got to get tough. You got to say, if you get knocked down, like I had those 1,000 falls, it's the ability to compete. You got to be able to compete and pick yourself up one more time and make it happen. Decide to get tough in 2026. I'm going to get tough in 2026. Put in the chat, tough, if you're going to be tough in 2026. All right. Are you mentally tough? You got to get strong. You got to push yourself. Mental toughness will give you stamina, endurance, and resilience. In 2026, you got to have a tough mindset. Must get a point where you can say to people that you can't hurt me. The prospects can't hurt you. Your competitors can't hurt you. Say to yourself in 2026, I'm going to take charge of my life and nothing's going to stop me. Get tough, all right? People ask me, what did we do? We made a decision. We talked about that, this whole thing. You got to make a decision, and it's got to be so strong that no one can bring you down. So after you leave here, you got to be so strong, nothing is going to bring you down. And that decision is what it takes to become the leader that you need in this industry. Then you just start learning what everybody is teaching you, and you start experience this duplication effect in a big way by learning. I just love all the different comments of what everybody taught. So are you going to go all in this year? Are you really going to go all in this year? I mean, are you really going all in this year? If you're going all in, we are going to have a complete blast. And it's way more fun. Ask Renita and Scott, ask the Brannons, ask Andy and Mandy, ask Ricky. It's way more fun when you're all in. Again, you're not quitting your job. You're still doing what you're doing, but you're all in here. When you're in, you're all in. Put in the chat, all in. Love you guys. Let's make it happen. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And let's go in 2026. You got this.